Hello and welcome to Frank's School. Boy, this looks complicated, I know. I'm going to gradually make it simple. I'm calling this timber framing made easy for a faux cut sill. And this is the 10th in a series which is going to be quite long. The playlist is called Guided Building of a Faux Cut. I'm going to get rid of that. Now, that might be considered deceiving to say that this is timber framing. Well, I'm going to stand by that. The only difference is that the timbers are built up. They're not chiseled out, they're built up. And it makes it so much easier. Now, this all looks so complicated. Well, what you're looking at here is one corner of the sill. All four corners are essentially identical. And so I only needed to do one corner, and therefore I could make it much bigger. The material is 1 by 6 I allow 1 by 6 1/4, 1 1/4 by 6 1/4, because this is rough sawn coming straight from the sawmill, which is one of the reasons this all gets so complicated. Only one of the reasons. So that's what the material is. Now, this squiggly line, yellow, I don't know if you can see that or not, that represents the offset. This is one board on top of another board. It is offset, so this is actually a void through here. And if that troubles you, well, it's not really a problem because the finished floor is going to slip underneath that void anyway. But by doing that, that gives a bearing surface right here, the whole way around the building. And that bearing surface will act for the corner boards, and here they are. This is a 1 by 6 and this is a 1 by 3. The corner boards, the 4 of them, and the trim. This is the trim for the doorway. This later, I'll probably put a piece of trim there. This is the trim for the window jamb. The trim, one of the novelties of this kind of building is that the trim becomes structural trim, I call it. The corner boards, the jambs, the casings, they become structural. So structural trim. And I'm also getting in effect here 12 mortises. Now, I call them pockets in the last video, but in a way they're very much like a mortise. These X's represent the end view of something pointing up, and so that jamb slips down into the gap between these two. This is a very short piece, and it'll stands there. So 1, 2, 3, and there's 4 corners, so there's 12. In a sense, mortises. It's just that they're open. It's open on the inside. I think I'm gonna call them mortises instead of pockets. All right, now, what else can I get rid of? Well, I think I probably just better go through this stuff now. The whole building is 149 inches by 96 inches, and that needs to be exact. Some of this stuff I'm allowing great tolerances, but that should be exact. And the 149 is coming from 2 pieces that are 74.5 each. That will add up to 149. And that is the bottom. That lays on the bottom. It goes the whole way out through. You see in the corner, this is a lap joint. So the bottom one is the long way. What else to say? Oh, and there's a splice over here, which I'll deal with in a minute. So, you're going to need two of those pieces per side. One of the things I'm doing is using nothing longer than 8 foot in this building. All right, now you're still dealing with the bottom course. On the ends, the bottom's going to stop there and it's going to stop there. So the bottom board on the end is going to be 96 inches minus 6 1/4 twice. So that takes care of that one. All right, now when we get to the second layer, let's go across the long side. There's an 1 1/4 standoff for the shoulder or the rabbet. In furniture making, this would in effect be a rabbet. There's an 1 1/4, then there's 6 1/4, allowing for the irregularity. Then a piece here that's 42 and a quarter, 42 and a half. Here is going to be 1.25 inches. This would be the door jamb if the door were on this side, but it'll be the window jamb in effect here. That's 1.25 inches, and then the splice is 46 3/4. Then going on, it would be the same thing. Going on be 1.25 inches, 42 and a half. Yeah, and that would take care of the second layer of the side. All right, going down this side, here's 1.25 inches. Oh, where is it? Well, there'd be 1.25 inches here, and then this. Well, no. Yeah, that 1.25 inches would be part of this. I hope I don't have that wrong. I may have to look at this. 22 1/8, and then here's 1.25 inches for a post. That won't show on the outside. I'm putting that in there because if the building ends up, well, for structural reasons, there's a post going to be needed there. 6 1/4, 1.25 inches, and here's the door. It would be in effect the threshold of the door, and every one of these then is confined. And then going on past the door, well, you've got another 1.25 inches, you've got a 6 1/4, you've got 1.25 inches and 22 1/8. I think that I just put that there. Oh, I put parentheses around it. That's why I did that. That's just to remind you that it's there. So there are the pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these today. It doesn't take long to cut these pieces. And I'll lay them on the ground and I'll lay them out and see if it's right before I put anything together.